The velvet jewelry box on my pillow always arrives exactly 20 minutes after he draws blood. It's a sick, twisted clockwork, YNPOV. The little red light on the smoke detector blinks at me. Blink, blink. It's not a smoke detector. It's a 4K resolution camera with night vision and audio recording. There's one in the bedroom, one in the bathroom, one in the sprawling personal library of our penthouse. My husband, Jungkook, likes to say he's just overprotective. That a 39-year-old Mafia heir with a target on his back can't be too careful with his 24-year-old wife. But I know the truth. He doesn't watch me to protect me. He watches me to own me. I flinch as the heavy mahogany door clicks open. I pull the silk sheets up to my chin, my entire body tense. My jaw aches with a dull, throbbing heat from where his ring caught my skin half an hour ago, all because I smiled at the valet downstairs. Just a polite, meaningless smile. Jungkook walks in. He isn't wearing the blood-splattered bespoke suit of an underworld boss, nor the tweed jacket of the prestigious dark academia professor I fell in love with 3 years ago. He is wearing a soft gray cashmere sweater. He looks impossibly handsome, soft, angelic, and he is holding a massive bouquet of black velvet roses. "My beautiful girl," he whispers, his voice thick with what sounds like genuine, devastating heartbreak. He drops to his knees, right beside the bed, burying his face in the mattress near my hip. I freeze. I hate that my heart still flutters when he calls me that. "I am a monster," Jungkook chokes out, looking up at me. His dark eyes are glassy, swimming with unshed tears. "Look at what I did to you. Look at my hands. They're cursed. I swear to God, YN, I lose my mind. The thought of anyone else looking at what is mine, it makes me see red." He reaches out, his large, warm fingers gently tracing the bruised skin on my jaw. I hiss in pain, but I don't pull away. I know better than to pull away. "I'm sorry," he murmurs, leaning in to press a painfully tender kiss to the bruise. "I only do it because I love you so much it makes me crazy. You know you're too young, too naive for this world. You don't see how men look at you. I have to teach you. I have to protect you." "I know," I whisper, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. I feel stupid. I feel small, just like he wants. "Say you forgive me," he pleads, pulling a velvet box from his pocket and snapping it open. Inside is a breathtaking diamond-encrusted tennis bracelet. "Let me spoil you. Let me make love to you, baby. Please." His thumb strokes my bottom lip. The manipulation is so thick I can barely breathe, but the tight, suffocating grip he has on my mind makes me nod. "I forgive you, Jungkook." He smiles. It doesn't quite reach his eyes. "Good girl." Jungkook POV. I step out into the hallway, pulling the bedroom door shut behind me with a soft click. Instantly, the tears dry up. The desperate, heartbroken expression washes off my face, replaced by a cold, flat calm. I reach into my pocket, pulling out my phone, and open the security app. On the screen, YN is lying perfectly still in bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. She's wearing the bracelet. A smirk tugs at the corner of my mouth. Fascinating. I walk down toward my private study. Being a professor of behavioral psychology by day and running Seoul's most ruthless syndicate by night gives a man a very unique perspective on the human mind. People think breaking a bone is power. It's not. Any street thug can break a bone. Breaking a mind? Restructuring a human being's entire reality so that they thank you for the pain? That is an art form. I sit at my heavy oak desk and open my laptop. The manuscript document is right where I left it. I glance at the live feed of my wife on my second monitor, watching her wipe a single tear from her cheek. She actually believes the pathetic display I just put on in there. My fingers hit the keyboard, typing out the notes for Chapter 12. The subject's reliance on the abuser deepens post-trauma when positive reinforcement, gifts physical affection, is introduced immediately after the violent event. The subject, YN, displays a 90% compliance rate when isolated and told she's incapable of survival without the primary aggressor. I lean back, taking a sip of whiskey. I love her, in my own sick, twisted way, but more than that, I love the experiment. And finally, after a long time, we're getting so very close to the end. YNPOV, Jungkook left for a faculty meeting 10 minutes ago. I know because the heavy thud of the penthouse doors echoed through the silent, suffocating halls. My jaw still aches from yesterday's lesson. I stare at the study door. My heart is pounding so hard it's vibrating in my teeth. I shouldn't go in. The sick, twisty feeling in my gut is screaming at me to walk away, but I need to know. I push the door open. It's dark, smelling of expensive cologne and old paper. The glow of his massive monitor cuts through the shadows. The screensaver is bouncing. I jiggle the mouse, terrified the system will ask for a password. It doesn't. A document is open. The art of breaking. My eyes skim the screen and the air is violently sucked from my lungs. Subject YN exhibits textbook trauma bonding. When I apply physical force, followed immediately by romantic declarations and high-value gifts, her brain rewires to associate my violence with love. Today, she accepted the diamond bracelet after a Class 2 physical correction. The experiment is proceeding flawlessly. I slap a hand over my mouth to muffle a sob. Bile rises in my throat. I'm not a wife. I'm a lab rat. A literal science project for a psychotic Mafia professor. My hands shake as I scroll down, down, down. Then I see it. The final chapter outline. Chapter 15, The Exit. Conclusion of the YN experiment. The subject's mind will be fully shattered by year 3. Once she possesses no individual will, the physical vessel is no longer required. The exit strategy will simulate a tragic home invasion. Estimated date of termination, next week. Next week. He's gonna kill me next week. Suddenly, the screen goes black, and bold white text starts typing itself across the monitor. Did you find what you were looking for, baby? Jungkook POV. I'm sitting in the back of my armored SUV, parked exactly 3 blocks away from the penthouse. The glow of my iPad illuminates the dark interior. On the screen, YN is standing frozen in my study. Her face is pale, eyes wide with sheer, unadulterated terror. She's reading the manuscript. I let out a low, breathy chuckle, leaning my head back against the leather seat. God, she's breathtaking when she's terrified. The way her hands tremble, the way her chest heaves. It's pure art. I tap the keyboard connected to my iPad, overriding the study's desktop. Did you find what you were looking for, baby? On the camera feed, she violently jumps back from the desk. She spins around looking at the ceiling, trying to spot the lens she knows is hidden somewhere in the bookshelves. I type again. Look at the smoke detector, sweetheart. Her eyes snap to the blinking red light. I press the button to activate the two-way intercom in the study. My voice echoes through the room, smooth, deep, and dripping with dark amusement. You broke the rules, YN. I purr into the microphone, watching her flinch on the screen as if I'd physically struck her. You know what happens to bad girls who snoop in their husbands' things? Jungkook, please, she whispers, her voice trembling so hard it cracks. I'll be home in exactly 3 minutes. I say, run, little rabbit, run. YN POV. I sprint to the front door, my breath hitching in my throat. I press my thumb to the scanner. Access denied. The red light mocks me. I try the side service entrance. Access denied. He's locked the entire penthouse from his iPad. I'm a trapped mouse, and the cat is pulling into the driveway. I run to the kitchen, grabbing the sharpest knife I can find, my hands shaking so hard I almost drop it. I'm not a lab rat. I'm not a subject. I'm a human being. But as I catch my reflection in the stainless steel fridge, I see the bruised jaw, the hollow eyes, and the diamond bracelet sparkling on my wrist. He locked me inside my own fear. The elevator dings. I'm standing in the center of our living room, the knife clutched so tight my knuckles are white. The storm outside is screaming, rain lashing against the floor-to-ceiling glass like it's trying to break in and save me. Jungkook walks in. He's not rushing. He's not angry. He looks bored. Like a professor walking into a lecture he's given 1,000 times. He tosses his car keys on the marble table. You're still here, he says, checking his watch. I gave you 3 minutes, YN. I thought you were faster than that. Why? I choke out, the knife handle slick with my sweat. The book, Jungkook, the exit. You're going to kill me? He walks toward me, slow and rhythmic. I lunge with the knife, a desperate, pathetic arc. He doesn't even flinch. In one fluid, terrifyingly fast motion, his hand snaps around my wrist. He twists, hard. The knife clatters to the marble floor. I let out a sharp cry of pain, and before I can breathe, he slammed me back against the cold glass wall. His body is a wall of heat and muscle pinning me. Kill you? He leans down, his nose brushing mine. His dark eyes are a void. I spent 3 deacon years molding you. I curated your clothes, your thoughts, your very soul. You think I'd throw away my best work just because you got a little curious? He grips my jaw, forcing me to look at him. His thumb brushes over my bruised lip, the one he gave me earlier, with a tenderness that is more terrifying than his fists. I hurt you because the world is acidic, YN. I break you so I can be the one to heal you. That's not murder. That's devotion love. He kisses me then. It's not soft. It's a dominating, harsh. It tastes like expensive whiskey and the copper of my own blood. My brain is screaming run, but my body, conditioned by 3 years of his touch, melts into him. It's sick. I'm sick. He pulls back just an inch, his breath hot against my mouth. Go to the desk, now. Jungkook POV. I watch her walk toward my study, her legs trembling, her head bowed. She looks so small, perfect. I follow her, my heart thrumming with a dark, addictive adrenaline. People call me a villain. They don't understand. Life is about control, and YN is the only thing I've ever found that was worth controlling completely. I sit in my leather chair and pull her onto my lap. She stiffens, then goes limp, resting her head against my shoulder. I can feel her heart racing. Open the notebook, baby. I whisper, sliding a fountain pen into her hand. She looks at the blank page. I've deleted the termination ending. I have a much better idea. I'm changing the last chapter, I murmur, my hand sliding under her silk robe, tracing the line of her ribs. We're going to write a new ending, together, one where you admit the truth. What truth? She whispers, her voice barely audible over the thunder. That you don't want to leave, that you like the grip I have on you, that you'd rather be my broken doll than a whole person without me. I lean in, biting the sensitive skin of her neck right over her pulse point. She gasps, her back arching. Write it, YN, write. I am the shadow of the man I love, and I will never see the sun again. I watch the pen hover over the paper. Her hand is shaking so violently I have to cover it with mine, guiding the nib to the page. If you write it, I promise, my voice dropping to a dark, seductive growl, I'll forgive everything. I'll take you to the bedroom and show you exactly why you belong to me, and make unconditional love to you. But if you don't... I trail off, my grip on her waist tightening until she winces. She looks at the security monitor on the desk. She sees herself on the screen, a girl lost in the dark, held by a monster. Then she looks at the pen. Jungkook, she says, her voice suddenly flat, empty. Yes, sweetheart? The exit, it wasn't about me dying, was it? She turns her head, and for the first time, there's a spark in her eyes that I didn't put there. It's a cold, sharp blade of a look. It was about me becoming you. Before I can react, she doesn't write the sentence. She plunges the heavy fountain pen straight into my thigh with a sickening thud. As I roar in pain, she doesn't run for the door. She reaches for the desk drawer where she knows I keep my Beretta. She clicks the safety off, the sound echoing like a death knell in the silent room. She points it right at my chest, her hand perfectly steady now. Class is dismissed, Professor, she whispers. But then, she does something that makes my blood run cold. She doesn't pull the trigger. She smiles. A slow, twisted, villainous smile that looks exactly like mine. She turns the gun around and presses the cold barrel against her own temple. If I'm your masterpiece, she purrs, her voice dripping with the same psychological poison I taught her. Let's see how the book ends when you lose your only reader. Her finger tightens on the trigger. Wait. I start, reaching out, my heart finally feeling something I haven't felt in decades. Pure, unadulterated terror. Bang.